The iconic Betty White died at the age of 99 on New Year's Eve 2021, leaving many wondering about her last days. They were reported to be peaceful and primarily spent at home in Los Angeles. In 2020, the actress chose to self-isolate and have essential errands managed for her due to the COVID-19 pandemic, according to TMZ. Although pandemic guidelines changed over time, in her final years, White continued to focus on activities at home, including reading, watching TV, and doing crossword puzzles. Sharing her quarantine story in more detail, a rep for White confirmed to Us Weekly, "Crossword puzzles are no match for Betty. She reads a number of newspapers, watches select television, and gets a lot of exercise in her home, walking up and down bedroom stairs." Going into more detail on these pastimes, White has previously elaborated that she loves to watch animal documentaries, Jeopardy, and golf in addition to games. Sharing in an interview with Variety, the comedian even declared, quote, "I'm an avid Jeopardy fan. I try to watch as often as I can." White also shared her love of the late Alex Trebek with the New York Post in 2018, saying, "I watch Jeopardy. First, it's such a good game, and second, I happen to have a huge crush on the host."
We got this, Trebek.
Betty White reportedly stayed sharp with trivia-based game shows and crossword puzzles, but nothing gave her as much pleasure as her work. She told the Post in 2018, "I'm thrilled to still be working. I'd rather be working than anything else in the world. Well, almost anything." And then, of course, there's food. White famously loved unhealthy treats. Sharing her favorite foods in an interview with People magazine, the star said, "I should follow better eating health rules, but hot dogs and red vines and potato chips and french fries are my favorite foods." Elaborating on her eating further, White shared in an essay for Harper's Bazaar, "I don't eat anything special, french fries, hot dogs if I can get them, and I'm not a big breakfast eater. I'll have a sandwich at lunch and then come home, and my golden retriever Pontiac and I have a vodka on the rocks and then our dinner. You can't get much better." Although Betty White lived out her final days in relative comfort and safety, if she'd had it her way, the beloved comedian and actor would have been elsewhere. The New York Post reports White wanted to continue living in the marital home she'd stayed in for decades with the late husband Alan Ludden. A source confirmed that she never wanted to leave her home in Carmel, but was forced to for the sake of at-home care, because Los Angeles was more accessible. The Golden Girls star was reportedly more comfortable in Carmel and wanted to spend her final days there rather than in the Brentwood abode where she ultimately passed away. Ludden, who was White's third husband, died in 1981. Their Carmel home, the land for which the couple purchased all the way back in 1978 for just $170,000, overlooks the ocean and is over 3,600 square feet in size. In an interview that's now recirculating on Twitter in the wake of White's death, the legendary actor is asked how she would like God to greet her in the event heaven exists when White arrives at the pearly gates. She responded, "Come on in, Betty, here's Alan." In a new interview with People magazine, which was meant to celebrate her 100th birthday but will now be released posthumously, White revealed her supposed secret to a long life, saying, "I try to avoid anything green. I guess it's working." However, although the icon acknowledged she was so lucky to be in such good health and feel so good at this age, according to those close to White, she wasn't feeling as great by the end. Insiders told Hollywood Life that the 99-year-old comedian's health had been deteriorating for quite some time. Her close friend and dress designer Paula Tu, who was due to create a gown for White's big centenary birthday bash, was told by White's management team in October that the birthday dress would no longer be required. However, he also shared, "She really wanted to make it to 100. She was a beautiful friend, and we will always remember her with love."